That's a good list. All right, my turn.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna start with number 5.
5.
And I'm gonna just say it right now. Most of my list is all slice of life type anime.
Because that's what they do.
Yeah. So here we go. First, number 5, Keiichi and Belle Dandy from Oh My Goddess.
I didn't even think of them. God damn, why didn't I think of them?
Alright, their romance starts out as first, it starts out with her as a, sweet goddess, gets wished, it comes to this guy who was born under an unlucky star, always thought of being taken advantage of, never had luck with women, never had luck with anything in his life other than the fact that he's smart, and always gets taken advantage of. She sees him, ends up coming to his aid, and he makes the wish of
her staying forever with him, right?
Staying forever. And through that, they not only have a bond of friendship at first, getting to know each other, but they actually
really progress.
But they really do progress. Now, it stays at kind of grade school level. They don't go any further than, than at the end saying, I love you, spoilers. But a lot of stuff ensue. I mean, after a while...
Especially when her sisters get involved.
They even question, is she here because it's her job, or does she actually care about him? And it turns out that, it's more than just a job, and it wasn't just a wish. I mean, that is something
That's what brought her there, but that's not what made her stay.
Exactly. Before it was a sense of duty, and then later on it was following her heart. And I gotta give him props for that. I've read the manga, not the whole thing because the manga's too long. There's been different versions of the anime. The one I've watched millions of times, and I can't get enough of it.
I actually love the manga, and the manga is really fun to read.
Yeah, it is. But you can tell how, I
love the art, too. It's like this innocent, but not, childish art style.
No, the art style is kind of... It starts off one way because you can tell...
It was like...
Yeah, you could tell he started in the, 70s or 80s from the art styles. I can't tell. I'm guessing 80s, early 90s. It's very rough in the beginning,
but as it went on, it got so much smoother.
It got so much smoother, and it shows in the anime, because in the anime they use that art style, and it just flows. It flows really well. The characters are fun. The characters are funny. Even in the English dub. Moving right along. Number 4 is another predictable one. Naruto and Hinata.
Ah, yay! Someone else is supposed to Naruto Hina. Sakura. You belong to Sasuke.
Look, I never really liked the idea of
Naruto and Sakura.
Naruto and Sakura, because
she's really abusive to him.
It's not even just that. It's just that he had a crush on her. She had a crush
on Sasuke. It's unfair to Naruto.
And really, I know they were kids at the time, but you knew it wasn't gonna work. Her attitude was too much for him, and Hinata just seemed like...
Hinata worked for Naruto.
Hinata was the underdog.
Just like he was.
And...
She's the only character, I think, who understood him from beginning to end.
And she defended him till the end.
She was willing to die for him.
Which she did.
She did, you're right.
So...
She comforted him when her cousin Neji was killed.
So, who would you have put with Naruto? As crazy as he is, as Goku-like as he is.
You want to know why? Because opposites attract. He was really outgoing, and she was really shy.
But because of all the stuff that they went through, she grew.
She grew because of him.
And just turned into a straight-up badass, and just...
And they have 2 kids. Sasuke and Sakura has 1.
Yeah.
Who is winning this battle?
And I don't think that was a child of love.
I don't. I don't. I don't even think they're married. I mean...
No.
Is she married to Sasuke? Or Sasuke is like, I kind of have to give you something for all these years, and then, to be fair, I wouldn't want him in my village either. I'd tell him to get the fuck out.
And maybe we'll find out when Naruto's son gets his own series.
Boruto.
It's happening.
God, why didn't they give him a better name?
I don't know. Maybe easier? I don't know. Number 3 on my list.
No more freebies.
Ren and Nana.
Ren and Nana again.
That's the only time you and I have the same couple on our list.
Yep.
Ren and Nana. Once again, a great anime.
Great music.
Great character development for the 2 of them. It's like a behind the music thing. I'm not going to repeat myself too much, but it was just
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, it was very, very... Oh, and the creator was inspired by bands like the Sex Pistols, which is why there's so much references in there, and it's just... Man, you could even put Nana and Nana on this list, not just as a not as a couple, but as that
Friends.
best friends, because they don't know each other at first, and then they get to know each other, and
first. And
their
Nana K's
lives
always
are
thinking
exact.
of Nana O.
Yeah, and their lives are almost exact parallels of each other, and they always have a.
You know what? Ren and Nana are more stable than like the Nana K and everyone else she's ever been with.
I have to agree. I have to
Like
agree
they
with
had
that.
their differences, Nana O and Ren, but they're 1,000 times more stable.
Yeah, because they actually wanted to get to know each other through not only the physical thing. I mean,
I think it's because they were so much alike.
The other Nana had a problem of falling in love too quickly.
Yeah, that was
every time a guy paid her
flighty.
attention. She was very, she was very humble, very flattered. She even went out with a married man for the time being.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas her polar opposite, who was
Nana O was very monogamous.
Yeah. Number 2, Asuna and Kitty from Sword Art Online. Now, that has probably got to be...
There's a show I've actually never watched, so...
Well, it's okay. But, really...
I saw, like, one episode, and I'm like, I can't judge it.
A lot of people thought, at first, that I remember when SAO came out in America, a lot of people that were fans of .hack thought it was just going to be, like, a rehash or a ripoff, which it's not. Yes, it has some similarities as far as the story, but
it's the same concept.
But that's about it. And then when they find each other at first, they're like, okay, they don't even like each other at first. It's just, it's just one of those things. And then they gradually get to know each other, and the romance kind of almost like a Cory and Topanga thing. I'd say that they would be like a Cory and Topanga of this action type anime, and then they end up developing a family through this virtual world later on when they go to the second game, and it's just awesome. And plus Asuna's not a... That's one thing. I always loved strong female characters. Asuna looks like a timid girl until you actually get to see her fight in the game and everything that she had to go through in real life, which I'm not going to go into, but it's just if you haven't seen it, some of it turns my stomach. But other than that, the story itself of those two getting together and actually staying together, even as young as they are, all the stuff that they had to go through, still love it. That's why they had to make this list.
I've never seen it. Can't comment.
Yeah, but that's why they had to make this list. Now, number one for me has got to be one of the most, probably other than Oh My Goddess, a kind of a strange yet realistic take on young love, and that's got to be Erebe and it's Erebe and Tsubaki from Mysterious Girlfriend X. Mysterious Girlfriend X, it doesn't start out like a typical anime at all. It doesn't start out like your typical love story. A lot of it just starts out it's a story about growth. They talk about sex, they talk about schooling, they talk about what it's like to grow up as a to grow up in these times as a kid. Like, how often does a man or a woman think about sex? And you don't really the way that they go about it is just strange, but in the best way. Because Urebe is not your typical girl. She is very, very strange, very intelligent, but very soft spoken. And through Tsubaki, who ends up tasting her drool, and when they first meet, like, that whole concept is like, okay,
it's kind of gross.
It is. It is, but that's their connection. That's their bond. Literally, that's their bond.
Saliva is
that's
their bond.
Exactly. Saliva is the bond. So that's how it's tested, really. And when I first started reading the manga, the first thing that caught my eye was the title, Mysterious Girlfriend X. Like, how mysterious is this girl? Exactly what makes her mysterious. And really, it's explained, but not in full detail. I'm thinking,
it's not like over-explained where it gives you the answers immediately.
Not at all. And I'm like, is she an alien? Is she from another world entirely? What's going on? No, she's just an average girl, but she's strange. And her thing is, she doesn't want to just rush into anything, and she already knew she was in love with him after she saw him and after he saw her and all this. I'm like, okay. And the way they approach their relationship, it's it goes through everything from how do they face each other in school, how do they, and they try to keep it a secret. And that's another thing. They're secretive, but it's incredibly sweet. And the way it's animated looks like it just jumped right out the manga, honestly. So that is why they are my number one. But I have some honorable mentions myself.
You have more than me.
Yeah, I just have to. Oh, all right.
Let's get to your honorable mentions.
Yeah, I just got it. Okay, so my honorable mentions. Actually, this is coming from one of my first and probably. No, not first, but probably one of my favorite anime of all time, which I'm surprised I didn't put this on this list officially, and that's Kei Kusanagi and Mizuho from Please Teacher.
Oh, I don't remember anything about that anime.
Oh man, I would watch it all the time, especially around this time. I know that sounds kind of, but these two, the way they met, not your conventional means. I mean, a guy sees a girl just transport herself into the woods, and he's going through his stuff. He's only He's 18 years old, looks like a 15-year-old, trying to live his life because he has a condition. She's trying to figure out, number one, where her family came from, because she's also half Earthling. So they grow together, and they end up through people getting into their business, but had to getting married. So from then, madness ensues, but it's still incredibly romantic and holds up pretty well. It's a few years old, but it still holds up pretty well. Fun fact: the manga came after the anime did.
I don't like Wolfsburg.
Yeah, so when I was trying to get the manga back when I was like 16 years old, my mom tried to stop me because she thought it would spoil the anime for me.
Yeah.
When they got the rest from me for my birthday, and it turns out it didn't, because it's told differently. So either way, it doesn't spoil a thing. Yeah, but trying to watch it with some people that don't understand anime, not always the easiest thing to explain.
I imagine so, but there's worse animes you could do that with.
This is true. It's not like I started off with hentai.
Or Elven Lied.
Or Elven...
Or even Gantz.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Okay, man. Alright, so another one of my honorable mentions. This is a very funny couple. And opposites attract in a lot of ways. And that is Koizumi and Utini from Lovely Complex, aka Love Com. Now, that is about basically...
Another anime I've not seen. So far, you have like 3 on your list.
All right. Basically, they are best friends who are like a comedy team. They have all this stuff in common, but the only thing that's different between them is
this the one where she's really tall?
She's really tall. And he's really short. And people make fun of them because of that, and they're just really good friends, but one ends up liking the other, and it ends up becoming a little more complicated because he didn't think that it would be possible for for them to actually just be romantic. So it kind of tests a lot of of things.
Of underdogs.
It is a story of underdogs. It is a story of underdogs, and it's very, very funny. It's very funny. Watching the anime after a while, it's still pretty funny. The jokes land pretty well, and the live action version, while they cut out some things, and it's kind of and they added some stuff that frankly I don't think should have been there. But just little stuff like, all right, okay, in the manga and in the anime, they both like a lot of the same stuff. Same movies, same music, and whatever. That's why people always say they're cool as friends. But it's always a height thing. It's always a height thing with people. She's too tall. He's too short. Blah, blah, blah. We go through this in real life, too. I've met girls that won't date short guys. So... that's why I can relate to this anime so well, and it's very funny, and I have really cool female friends that that we can talk to each other about anything, just about anything.
Well, it's okay. You're still taller than me.
Not by much, though.
We're
both pretty short, but you know what? We love each other. We love ourselves, so we're good.
All I want to do is see you turn into
a giant woman. What's wrong? Okay, all right. Third one, this is you kind of probably saw this coming.
I did. I'm looking at your list.
Inuyasha and Kagome. I wanted to originally put Inuyasha and Kikyo, but
yeah. You like Kagome more than Kikyo?
No, actually, no, I don't.
With her?
No, I don't. The reason why I think they're so sweet together is because they balance each other out. They're both stubborn as hell, but they both keep each other in check.
Oh, okay, that's right. Kikyo didn't really do that much for Inuyasha.
Exactly, unless she got on his unless he got on her nerves, and then it's like, sit, boy. I always like when she did that. For some reason I always like when she did that.
Yeah,
it's mean, but
there's a drinking game for Inuyasha, and you have to take a drink every time she says "sit, boy." You know how many drinks you will take in one episode?
Play that with Mark and find out.
I played it with Carlos and found out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Episode 1. Every time someone mentions the Shikanju, will take a drink.
Yeah, and even though to this day I still have to finish Final Act. But
so do I, actually.
Yeah, but I really feel and they can relate to a lot of our friends that they remind me of Inuyasha and Kagome. Stubborn as heck, but always have each other's backs, and that's why they're on this list. But they're only honorable mentions. I couldn't put them on my official list. And my fourth honorable mention from an anime that I would recommend to anybody, especially if you just like something to sit down and just cuddle up with somebody nice over, and that would be Takeo and Yamato from My Love Story. Starts out with people that meet on a train. You got two friends. They meet this girl on a train. Basically, the big guy saves her life. He's a really big, tall, brooding kind of dude, but he's sensitive as heck. He's always down. He always down for helping people. Always thinks of other people more than himself. Puts himself in crazy situations, but because of his build and his physique, he can and his straight up, like, his spirit alone can just. Yamato, she's a very sweet girl. Typical high school girl who can bake her butt off and has all this crazy compassion and everything for everyone and everybody. And they end up meeting on a train through the fact that she was getting groped by a passenger. So but then they start this relationship kind of early on in the show. I like it when
it takes time.
But I also like it when...
Well, since the show is about them, they have just started off. Yeah.
So you just start... So it makes sense with the show called My Love Story to have the...
You don't want it to take too long. People lose interest.
Exactly. To have the two main characters or the two love interests kind of start the relationship early. But it also brings up the topic of low self-esteem because when Takeo first meets Yamato, he thinks that she likes his best friend, who looks like the high school pretty boy who always gets the girls. But because he doesn't know this, but he always rejects them. Why does he always reject them? Because they reject his best friend. His best friend is, he looks tall, he looks scary, he looks this, he looks that, so people stay away from him. Whereas he is like, man, you're cool, man, you just gotta give yourself more props, basically. So he's there not only for his best friend, but he's also there for Yamato, because when they have their issues, like typical issues, like when they have their first kiss or when they have their first date, all that stuff that they think about in their heads, it's always him that comes up with the solutions. They always have each other's back. It's not only about love romantically, but it's also about love platonically, best friends, brothers. That's what the theme is in my eyes. So that is my list for the for my top 5 romantic couples in anime. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think of this list? I got a feeling we'll probably do some more in the future if we can think of other topics. But let me know in the comments below what you thought. Who do you think had the best list? What would be on your list? Let us know. And in the meantime, thank you, Kyo, for being in this episode. Thank you for bringing up this topic. Peace, love, and never be normal.
And chicken. Why not chicken? Everyone loves chicken. Except for vegetarians, but...